A year ago, at the age of 33, I found myself facing a divorce from my 39-year-old husband of 7 years. We had met during an internship where he was training as a surgeon, and our relationship had flourished. Despite both achieving our career goals, our marital bliss took a nosedive, particularly when my mother-in-law, Karen, moved in with us. Karen never concealed her disdain for me, convinced that I was with her son solely for financial gain. Although my husband willingly supported me as a stay-at-home wife, I brushed off Karen's attitude as typical mother-in-law behavior. However, my complacency waned when I noticed her growing close to a female friend of mine, Caitlin. Karen consistently brought up Caitlin in conversations, even comparing us in front of my husband. Initially, I believed Karen was attempting to steer my friend towards my husband, thinking Caitlin was a more suitable match. I couldn't have been more mistaken. It turned out that my husband was the one pursuing Caitlin, having cheated on me with her for over 2 years. When he finally requested a divorce, he openly admitted his infidelity and his desire for Caitlin to replace me in his life. The pain and anger I felt were magnified when he offered me alimony, which I promptly declined, wanting no part of his money. To add insult to injury, both my ex-husband and mother-in-law mocked me, claiming they were doing me a favor by offering a financial head start. They doubted my ability to survive without their support, confidently asserting that I would come crawling back within 6 months. Little did they know that as soon as the divorce proceedings were finalized, I had a different plan in mind. After securing a cozy apartment with my savings, I delved into the job market, eager to move forward. Soon enough, I landed an interview for a high-ranking position at a prestigious private clinic. It was there that I crossed paths with Garrett, my now fiancé, who happened to be my boss. What began as a typical office romance turned into a whirlwind. Within 4 months of dating, Garrett proposed, offering me the choice to continue working alongside him or opt for a comfortable life as a stay-at-home partner. As I navigated this new chapter, my ex-husband remained largely absent from my thoughts. Pride prevented me from indulging in the post-breakup habit of stalking his social media. However, about a week ago, my ex reached out, expressing a desire to talk. Initially, I dismissed and blocked him upon discovering the message's origin. Yet persistence prevailed, and the following day he showed up at my workplace. After some reluctance, I agreed to a lunch meeting, expecting a one-on-one conversation. To my surprise, his mother joined us. During the lunch, my ex went on a remorseful tirade, expressing regret for their past actions and desperately seeking forgiveness. The climax was their pitiful request for me to take him back. Unimpressed, I labeled their plea as pathetic and reminded them of their earlier prediction that I would be the one crawling back to them within 6 months. Despite my firm rejection, they persisted in begging, painting a picture of life returning to its previous state. As my lunch break neared its end, I firmly declined and asked them to leave me alone. I asserted that I now had a fiancé, who I proudly claimed was 100 times better than my ex-husband. Leaving the scene, I taunted my ex by vaguely mentioning my fiancé as someone from work. Upon returning, I shared the bizarre encounter with Garrett, who promised to investigate the situation. The next 2 days unfolded with an air of anticipation. Upon obtaining the information, Garrett's investigative team uncovered a disturbing revelation about my ex-husband. It appeared that, driven by ego and negligence, he had left an item inside a patient during one of his surgeries. The patient, upon discovering this, promptly filed a lawsuit against the hospital, which responded by terminating my ex-husband. The ongoing lawsuit posed a significant threat to his medical license. Understanding the gravity of the situation, I realized why my ex-husband and mother-in-law were desperately seeking my forgiveness. However, I turned to seek the perspective of others, posing the question, am I the a-hole for refusing to take my ex-husband back despite their pleas? In the first update, I shared that 2 days after the lunch confrontation, Garrett handed me an envelope containing a report filled with inaccuracies and lies aimed at discrediting me. It was evident that my ex-mother-in-law and her son were behind this attempt to tarnish my reputation. The letter emphasized my relationship with a coworker and referenced company policies, revealing they had done some research. Ironically, they failed to realize that my co-worker boyfriend was the owner who had implemented those policies. I chose to ignore their efforts, anticipating that it might not be the end of their schemes. In the second update, I confirmed my suspicions as letters inundated our mailbox, filled with complaints about me. Fake accounts posted negative reviews on our clinic's review site, all part of their orchestrated attempt to sabotage my career. Despite the fake nature of these accounts, the relentless assault on my professional reputation was unnerving. The situation made me reflect on the potential consequences had I not been in a relationship with Garrett. As I grappled with these challenges, I couldn't help but wonder about the lengths they were willing to go to destroy my career. The updates unfolded with a mix of gratitude for support received and apprehension about the ongoing efforts to undermine my professional life. I chose to build my life without them, refusing to be their lapdog once again. Contemplating revenge, I set my sights on something equally significant: his marriage. Aware of my ex-friend's jealousy, I envisioned her dismay upon learning that he was attempting to return to me, the woman they had deemed useless. Seeking a taste of their own medicine, I wondered what you guys thought of my plan. In the third update, I executed my revenge, creating a new Instagram account. I'd easily found my ex-friend Caitlin, who, despite her husband's job loss and impending court case, portrayed a life of luxury on social media. Her posts flaunted shopping sprees, cozy dates, and notably her pregnancy. Discovering that she had married the man-child ex-husband just 2 months after our divorce stung, considering the wasted 7 years of my life. Nonetheless, armed with this information, I initiated a conversation with her, gradually forming a friendship. Over a month, I subtly planted seeds of doubt, playing the role of a caring friend while learning about her marital troubles. Once convinced she was where I wanted her, I called my ex-husband, convincing him to meet privately to discuss rekindling our marriage. I informed my fiancé, ensuring everything was stable for the upcoming events. At the meeting, I found him nervously happy, relishing in the twisted satisfaction of knowing his joy would soon turn sour. Implementing stage 1 of the plan, I set the rule that he must refer to me in the third person. Confused but compliant, he played along. Transitioning to stage 2, I used leading questions to extract information about his marriage. As expected, he unleashed a torrent of slander, detailing his unhappiness, lack of love for his wife, and regrets about leaving me. He even expressed distaste for the unborn child, wishing for a miscarriage. He willingly threw his current wife under the bus, outlining explicit plans to return to me at the first opportunity. Though some details are not safe for work, the outcome aligned perfectly with my expectations. He willingly exposed his true colors, confirming that my revenge plan was succeeding. Once I successfully deceived him into pouring out his heart, I sweetly assured him that I needed time to process everything. I promised that the next time we met, I would be single and ready to rekindle our relationship. He eagerly embraced this prospect, displaying childlike excitement. In that moment, a sadistic pleasure washed over me, knowing the imminent betrayal he was about to experience. Back home, I collaborated with my husband and a team of editors, marking the initiation of stage 3 of the plan. Recordings and videos were meticulously crafted to conceal my identity, yet emphasize my female presence. His words were strategically edited to magnify their negative impact. With this done, the next step involved delivering the content to his current wife. Using another Instagram account, I ensured she saw the incriminating material during a vulnerable moment. Engaging in a feigned sympathetic conversation, I artfully fueled her anger. Gradually, I began influencing her perspective, persuading her that she deserved better and that he didn't deserve her. Eventually, I directed her towards the path of revenge. Continuing the act of a concerned friend, I encouraged her to divorce him and take everything, emphasizing that he wanted to return to his ex-wife. With the seeds of discontent planted, she fell into my manipulative web, convinced that leaving him penniless was the appropriate course of action. In the fourth update, I gleefully reported that my plan had worked. A week after the revelation, he called me in a fit of rage, threatening retaliation for deceiving him. Calmly listening to his tirade, I laughed with my fiancé, reveling in the success of my scheme. Soon after, I received a message from my newfound bestie, announcing the commencement of the divorce process. With the money I provided, she secured a formidable lawyer, ready to leave him financially depleted. As usual, I continued my manipulative influence, planting sinister ideas in her mind. Once convinced that she had turned against him, I disappeared, citing business as an excuse. The onslaught of letters also ceased, signaling the apparent success of my elaborate plot. So, it seemed they had finally realized I wouldn't be getting fired anytime soon. After the whole divorce ordeal and my ex-husband going off on me, I received a surprising message from him just 1 month and a few days later. He claimed he wanted to apologize for what happened. Initially shocked and suspicious, my doubts were confirmed when he suggested we have dinner on him as an apology gift. He also expressed a desire to discuss the possibility of rekindling or at least becoming friends again, emphasizing that we were friends before lovers. Discussing this with my fiancé, we both harbored suspicions and decided to play along. My fiancé had someone discreetly watch and follow him to uncover any potential ulterior motives. It didn't take long for the suspicions to be validated. 3 days before the planned date, he visited a store known for its background deals on certain substances, including roofies. Upon further investigation, it became clear that he intended to drug me during the date, film compromising scenes, and then use it as leverage for various purposes, possibly including blackmail, money, rekindling the relationship, or assistance with his court case. The horrifying realization of his intentions left me horrified. Reacting to this revelation, my fiancé proposed a counterplan, suggesting we give him a taste of his own medicine. The day before the scheduled dinner, we arranged for a male stripper to discreetly follow me on the date, keeping a distance until the drugged food or drink was switched. Once the effects kicked in, the stripper would intervene and capture the moment, intending to send the footage to his wife and those suing him. Executing the plan flawlessly, I met up with him on the arranged day, enduring another round of his apologies and remorseful speeches. He admitted to falsely accusing me of sabotaging his marriage, even thanking the unknown person behind it. While engaging in this conversation, I observed him drugging my drink, but managed to switch it in the nick of time. Once he consumed the tampered drink, I calmly excused myself to the bathroom, anticipating his inevitable follow-up. True to expectations, he soon entered the dimly lit hallway, only to be swiftly seized and taken away. The plan had successfully unfolded, and I awaited the aftermath of our strategic retaliation. I played my part by inquiring about him and settling the bill that night. The events of that evening were a blur, but the morning after, his wife texted me, claiming she was devastated. Apparently, the man she was divorcing, who was now expecting a child with me, had not only cheated on her with his ex-wife, but also with a man. It was a ludicrous situation, and though I struggled to maintain a composed demeanor, I kept up the act. Simultaneously, I continued with the lawsuit, and judging by the latest headlines, the video had reached its intended audience. That's the gist of what's been happening. I sense that everything is approaching a resolution, and soon things will return to normal. I'll wait and see before providing a final update. In the concluding update, I reveal that he lost everything, just as I desired. His marriage crumbled, and Caitlin took everything in the divorce, gaining full custody, child support, alimony, essentially every conceivable asset. The court case ended decisively against him, resulting in bankruptcy. The last encounter with him revealed a dire situation. Both he and his mother ended up broke and homeless, moving between shelters. Attempts to visit the clinic were thwarted by my fiancé's intervention, ensuring they never returned. As I prepare for my upcoming marriage, I reflect on the irony that he divorced me with the belief that I would suffer without them. Yet it's he who finds himself begging for scraps. I express not just their deserving fate, but the manifestation of karma. Grateful for the support throughout the story, I conclude, acknowledging that karma indeed has its way.